The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. When this game came out, I really hated it, and for the simple reason being, it had really stupid cartoony graphics. Now, that was like a 13-year-old me, and I was expecting like a true sequel to Ocarina of Time, but that obviously didn't happen. So when this game came out again on the Wii U, I was pretty excited because that was a long time ago, and I had a lot of Zelda games in between to kind of satisfy that, and I just figured, let me have a fresh look at it, and goddamn, this game is so beautiful, and the story is just great, and it really is my favorite Link out of all of the Zeldas. Playing this again, it has pretty sweet combat mechanics, so I'm just going to do a quick little playthrough here, and I'm going to show you kind of, think of them like mini reviews of each island, and we'll go from there. Wind Waker has probably the most bleak story of the franchise. The first thing you'll notice is the landscape. It looks a lot more like Waterworld than it does Hyrule, and how it got this way is pretty depressing. In the Zelda universe, nearly all the games branch off from the 3 possible endings from the Ocarina of Time, and this one follows the one of Adult Link, the one where Link gets sent back in time, so the people are left to pick up the pieces and shit. So since there's no 17-year-old boy who dressed like a fairy around to save the day, when Ganon comes back, he managed to be such a fucking badass that the goddesses decided that they'd rather flood Hyrule and kill everybody than put up with any more Ganon shit. Unlike the other timelines, including one where Link actually dies, Ganon's eventually stopped and sealed away for taking over the world. But in the Wind Waker, the sages are all little kids and fucking Santa Claus and shit, so without Link, you're totally fucked when the evil pigman comes back. And that brings us the most depressing day-to-day life in video games history. You might be saying to yourself, surely that can't be the worst. Take a game like Fallout, which follows the dismal lives of real nuclear holocaust survivors. That has to be worse than a Zelda game, right? Well, you're wrong. This world is totally fucked, and it starts with the opening island. Link comes from Outside Island, where he lives with his sister, his grandma, 2 old guys who say extremely uncomfortably pedo bear shit, and an assortment of really lazy and cowardly people. At first look, Outside Island doesn't seem that bad. It's kind of peaceful, really. People are friendly, there's nothing to do but little errands for people, but that's where the nicety ends. This shot's pretty fucking weird. So your sister wakes you up because Link is ever a very lazy child, and she tells you to go see your grandma. So you go see grandma, and she's supposed to give you the tunic that everybody recognizes Link in, but because I'm playing second quest, I get to keep these awesome blue clothes. After you get the tunic, you can explore a little bit. You find this dude all hunched over, and he talks about how to catch pigs, and in a really roundabout way, he's asking you to get his wife a gift on your birthday. What a cool guy. I love how that kid right there is just staring at this, like jumping for joy about the pig drowning. Which is pretty funny, because when you bring all of the pigs back, the mom kind of goes on about how the kids will be so happy that they have pigs and they'll have pets and they're so cute, and here's all this money, and she actually gives you quite a bit of money for this. Happy birthday, Link. Link's sister, who's wearing a dress with a skull on it, really is rude to this postman for no reason. This cutscene is so ridiculous if you think about it. So there's a giant bird carrying a girl, and there's pirates chasing her, shooting cannonballs up into the sky, basically at a town. That's pretty heavy shit. I love the look on this fucking bird's face right here. Naturally, after this happens, you go see the old guy who lives downstairs, who's considerably more chill than the guy upstairs. He even gets you to smash a bunch of shit and piss off his brother and calls him a pussy. He says some suspect shit also, but overall, he's not too bad of a guy. He teaches you the horizontal attack, the vertical attack, the thrust, the spin attack, the parry, and the jumping attack. Once you learn that, you're on your way. Using your newfound skills, you can cut this guy's grass, which I don't know why he wants you to do that, because I think his lawn looks like shit without grass, personally. So you chop this shit down, which should really be there because there's this really fucking shitty bridge up here, and if you pay attention to the kids in this town, they're kind of wild, so it makes sense that they have that fence there. Might as well snap this creepy picture of Zelda while you can. These guys show up in a last-ditch effort to nab the little girl. I find the combat in Wind Waker to be pretty awesome. It's pretty free-flowing, I feel, compared to the other 3D Zeldas. Look at that. It's hard to be intimidated by this guy. So more or less, because you fucked this fence up, your sister gets nabbed by a giant bird. And it's basically all your fault. So you feel really awful and run off a cliff. But Zelda saves you. I love how this postman just talks shit to these pirates. Has no respect for these guys. And neither should you. These pirates are little bitches. You then have this sappy scene with your grandma, which further reinforces the point that this world fucking sucks. Look at the looks on their faces. They know they're probably not going to see each other again. She's giving her only, living relative, it looks like, a shield so he can go off and die. That's pretty fucked up. Make sure you get a selfie with grandma. That concludes Outset Island. Hope you enjoyed this video. There's going to be a lot more to come. Please subscribe, like, do whatever the fuck you want. Thanks.